Unicorn Overlord, a game many people, including myself, have been very excited to get our hands on. Luckily, they released a fairly extensive demo that allowed us to get a feel for all the game has to offer, some of which genuinely surprised me. Is this game worth the hype? Well, let's talk about it, shall we? Before we get into things, if at any point you guys enjoy this video, please hit that like button, and hey, consider subscribing. It really helps me out. Thank you. First, the game throws us into the middle of a conflict within the Kingdom of Cornea. The once decorated General Valmor leading a rebellion against the monarchy. The Queen Elenia musters what meager forces she has at her disposal to face him, while dispatching her most trusted knight Joseph to take her son and flee the kingdom, entrusting with him a mysterious ring. More on that later. We get a small taste of the gameplay here, but it's fairly linear. I gotta say though, the graphics and character animations in this game are wonderful. I'm not a huge graphics guy, but I can appreciate a game with good art direction. The character animations are like eye candy. I love it. As you confront Valmor, it fades to black, and the queen is presumed dead after their battle. Presumed. Yeah, we don't actually see it. Which raises a few questions in my head. Valmor then proceeds to conquer the rest of the nations unabated. He then dons a new name and calls himself Galerius. This section at the beginning really gave me Trails of Cold Steel flashbacks. Fast forward 10 years to the island of Palavia. The protagonist of the story, Elaine, is an adult now. He's sparring with his friend Lex when they see an enemy ship headed towards the port. This is where the tutorials start, and you get an actual understanding of the core gameplay. It plays similarly to an RTS. You control where your units go and what actions they take, and then watch them play out on the map. I can see positioning your units at chokeholds and checkpoints becoming a very common strategy in the future. Battles proceed automatically with your various characters activating their skills when certain conditions are met. You have two different values, AP and PP. AP is spent when your character uses an attack skill, while PP is spent activating a passive skill, like guarding an ally from an enemy's assault or healing a wounded party member at the end of battle. Your unit's skills can even be given different priorities affecting their usage in battle. For instance, you might have your archer prioritize attacking thieves, or have your fighters target squishier units to thin the ranks quicker. There's a whole slew of options and parameters to peruse and choose from, and this section really reminded me of the Gambit system from Final Fantasy XII, which was one of the best parts of that game, by the way. Once you get through the tutorial fights, the game truly opens up, quite literally. You get access to the Overworld, where you can adventure around the map, stumbling into side quests, which lead to recruiting new and unique units for your resistance, collecting items and materials used for rebuilding towns, as well as NPCs you can talk to, which offer little gameplay hints and various tricks for fighting specific unit types. Towns are where you can buy consumables, new gear, and even station a guard to defend the area. They mainly gather gold and items for you, and can still be used in combat, so there's no reason to leave a town unguarded. You need to complete a delivery quest in order to gain access to this feature though, so I just felt that was necessary to add. Forts are where you can spend renown to increase the maximum number of units in a group. You can also hold mock battles between your units to see how they perform with each other, and hire generic units to fill in any gaps you might have in a team comp. The recruiting process felt kind of like Disgaea, where you can choose their stat preferences, alter their armor colors, their name, voice, etc. It helped add more of a personal touch to them, which was nice. Getting to the overworld was the moment I went, wow. The amount of content in this game is no joke. Plus they give you 5 hours to mess around and really get a feel for all the varying gameplay mechanics too. I've kind of been in the mood for a good strategy RPG, and this game honestly seems to be just what the doctor ordered. As a big Fire Emblem fan, this game is definitely scratching that itch. There's even an archer you can recruit named Rolf. Beast units and angels too. Someone on the team had to be inspired by Path of Radiance and Radiant Dawn, which is pretty based if you ask me, since those are my two favorite Fire Emblem games. I'm very much looking forward to the full release of this game and can't wait to dive back in and see what else is possibly in store. Last but not least, I finally got an understanding as to what the name of the game represents. I always thought it was such a silly sounding title, Unicorn Overlord. but figured it just had to be for story or lore reasons. Yeah, I was correct in my assumption. It refers to two things, actually. The Heavenly Father, which they worship as a god and is portrayed with the visage of a unicorn, and, well, the Ring of the Unicorn, which Elaine is in possession of. This does lead to my biggest worry with the game, though. For all the praise I just gave it, I have to be fair. The overall story seems meh? It feels very average. In the prologue, you find out that Galerius is using mind control magic on all the soldiers who used to be under the Queen, and Elaine uses the power of the Unicorn Ring to dispel that magic on one of the soldiers, which then he ends up joining your party afterwards. This is used as the plot reason for how Valmore was able to stage a rebellion with barely any resistance at all. It just feels very cheap and kind of lazy at first glance, but I love the story of 13 Sentinels, and have heard nothing but good things from those who played Odin Sphere, so I'm willing to give it a chance and see if maybe there's something else going on behind the scenes. Plus, they told this to us right away instead of waiting until the end and using it for a big reveal or something, so hopefully there's more to it than that. We never actually saw the Queen die, so I'm curious if she was captured and mind-controlled as well. I won't be shocked if we have to fight her at one point towards the end, or the middle of the game, and have it be set up as this big emotional story moment for Elaine. Also wonder if there's some otherworldly entity pulling the strings behind everything, and Valmore is being controlled or at least manipulated to an extent as well. Now I'm really getting parallels to another series.
Relinquish it to me. It belongs to me. Your soul, your entire being.
All things considered, this demo was fantastic, and I thoroughly enjoyed my time with it. I still have 2 hours left on my clock, so if you'll excuse me, I'm off to play just a bit more of this game before my time runs out. The gameplay of this game is very solid and very addicting. Whether you're new to strategy RPGs or you're more of a veteran like myself, it seems like it's gonna be a really good time. And yeah, we've reached that part of the video, where it's time to end things. So, leave a like on your way out, subscribe if you enjoy my content and you want to see more in the future, and hey, let me know down below, what was your favorite moment from the demo? And if you haven't played the demo, does this game look interesting to you? Let me know. Take care of yourselves, guys. I'll see you soon. Peace out.
Alright, what's next?